Creating an 18-hole scorecard for an individual person. Individual scorecards for one person can be created several different ways. Under the scorecard options, our first option is the 18-hole scorecard. Using that basic grid of the 18-hole scorecard, you can create individual one-player scorecards. To do that, players per card could be selected as one. Additional information or how the name is going to be displayed can be selected. The tee that's going to be played can be selected. And if needed, you can add different highlight lines to the scorecard. Dotting of the scorecard can include all 18 holes, the front 9 only, the back 9 only, or you can choose not to dot at all. When ready, click on Create Cards and create all the scorecards. For this example, I'm going to use current scorecard only. This scorecard will be created in Microsoft Word. Once the scorecard is created in Microsoft Word, you can notice that 3 different highlight lines have been added to the scorecard, and the player's information is now displayed on the first line. If we want to make additional changes to this, we can close the print preview, click on Add-ins, and now begin to make changes to fonts, colors, or add watermarks to the scorecard. This is option 1 to create a scorecard for an individual player. Now let's look at option 2 and 3. Our next option to create scorecards for individual players is under what we call our tear-off scorecard. This will offer 2 options for a championship-style scorecard for one individual player. The first option we have is going to be for one player. Under players per card, let's select one player per scorecard. The tee has been set. We're going to decide to add more highlight lines to the scorecard, so we're going to choose highlight line 2 and 3 so we can track our net score and putts, and we're going to dot all 18 holes. Again, I'm going to just create the current scorecard for the current player so you can see it. With this scorecard, you'll recognize a new gridding style that's more of a championship style scorecard. A marker score has been added to the bottom of the scorecard, and a place for signature for both the player and the marker have been added. The scorecard itself offers one line for the player information, a highlight line for maybe a net score, and number of putts. Again, you can click on Add-ins and make changes to the scorecard for fonts, colors, and watermarks. This is our second option for a one-player scorecard for 18 holes. Let's take a look at option number 3. Option 3 for an individual scorecard, again, is under tear-off scorecards. And this option will change when we print 1 per page. For the second option, we now click on the word 1, and it changes to 2. The first thing you'll notice is the highlight and lines have now been turned off because they are not available in our second option under tear-off scorecards. Players per card is set at 1, and this time we're going to add additional information to this player, and we're going to choose the handicap option so it'll display the player's handicap. When we're ready, because there's 2 per page, I'm going to create this scorecard for this example from our current column called the S3 column. With this next option, you'll recognize a different gridding system altogether. In this gridding system, you'll see that the organization and the tournament name have been added to the top of the scorecard. The competitor has been added with his handicap next to his name. If he had affiliation in the player list, that would show starting time and the date of the event. A place for the player's signature as well as the marker's signature have been added to the top of the scorecard, and the information for the scorecard is now below. Once again, a marker score has been added to the scorecard, and there are 2 scorecards per page in this example. Changes again can be made to the scorecard by clicking on Add-ins, and changing fonts, colors, and watermarks to the scorecard can be placed onto the scorecard. You have 3 options to create the individual scorecard for a player for 18 holes through our standard scorecard options. Hopefully this has been useful, and have a great day.